Hello students, welcome to our channel Learning Notebook. In today's video, we are going to do complete chapter of simple machines for class 5. We are going to discuss each and every concept related to this chapter. So make sure you watch the entire video. Let's see what all topics we are going to cover today in this video. First, we will learn what is a machine. Then we will understand simple machines, lever, inclined plane, screw, wedge, wheel and axle, and pulley. In the end, we will do some practice questions. So let's start and first learn what is a machine. A machine is a device which makes our work easier and faster. There are many machines which we use in our daily lives to make our work easier and faster. For example, we use scissors to cut things easily. A screw helps to hold two wooden blocks together. A gardener uses hand shovel to pull out weeds. Now let's learn what is simple machine. A simple machine is a simple device which make our work easier by applying force at a particular point. For example, knife. Knife is a simplest machine used by us to cut fruits and vegetables by applying force on it. Other examples of simple machine are scissors, can opener, taps, bottle opener, tongs, etc. Students, there are 6 types of simple machine. They are lever, inclined plane, screw, wedge, wheel and axle, and lastly pulley. Let's learn each of them one by one. First, let's understand lever. A lever is a simple machine which can be used to lift objects. For example, we cannot move big boulder with our hands, but we can move it using lever very easily. So lever is a bar which is free to move about its center point called fulcrum. Let's understand this with the help of a diagram. See, this is a bar. Let's read the definition once again. A lever is a bar. So, this is a bar here in this diagram. And definition says it is free to move about its center point called fulcrum. So, here this center point is fulcrum. And this bar can move about fulcrum easily. All levers have 3 parts. First is fulcrum. Fulcrum is the point on which lever is supported. Like here, this point is fulcrum on which this bar, lever, is being supported. Next part of lever is load. It is the weight on which force is applied. Like here, this is the load. This is the weight on which force is being applied. Students, in our last example, big boulder was the load, right? Now the third part. It is effort. What is effort? It is the force applied on lever. So here, this is the effort. On the other hand of this bar, if we apply force on it, it is called as effort. Let's understand these three parts again with the help of another example. Look at this picture. Here, this big boulder or stone is the load. Next, this point, it is fulcrum, where the lever is being supported. And students, this man is applying force on the lever to lift the boulder. It is called as effort. So, all levers have three parts: fulcrum, load and effort. Now let's learn about types of lever. Levers are classified on the basis of position of the load, the fulcrum and the effort. So there are three types of lever: class 1 lever, class 2 lever and class 3 lever. Let's understand them one by one. When the fulcrum is in between the load and the effort, it is called as class 1 lever. Let's understand this with the help of a diagram. See, this is a lever and here this fulcrum is in between load and the effort. So, this is class 1 lever. Let's see some examples. First example is seesaw. Seesaw is a very good example of class 1 lever because as you can see, the fulcrum is in between load and the effort. One child is making the effort to lift another child. So this is an example of class 1 lever. Another example of class 1 lever is scissors. Here students, in scissors, this is fulcrum. Then on this end, we put load and on another end, we make effort. So scissors are also example of class 1 lever. Another good example of class 1 lever is nail cutter. Okay students, now do you know any other example of class 1 lever? Do tell me in the comment section. Now let's learn about class 2 lever. Class 2 lever has the load between fulcrum and the effort. Let's understand this with the help of a diagram. Here, the load, it is in between fulcrum and the effort. Let's see examples of class 2 lever. First example of class 2 lever is nutcracker. Look here students. This is the fulcrum. Here we are putting nut, that is load, in the middle, and here we are making the effort to crack this nut. So load is in between fulcrum and the effort, right? Let's see other example of class 2 lever. Bottle opener. Here, can you tell me where is the fulcrum? Yes, this is the fulcrum. Then here we put the load, which is the cap of the bottle, and then here we make the effort to open that bottle. And then other example of class 2 lever is wheelbarrow. Here also, this is the fulcrum. Then in the middle, we put the load. And then here we make the effort to carry that load. So all these are examples of class 2 lever. Now what is class 3 lever? Class 3 lever has the effort between the fulcrum and the load. Look at this diagram. Here the effort is in between fulcrum and the load. So this is class 3 lever. Let's see some of its examples. First example is pair of tongs. Students, you must have seen this in your kitchen. In Hindi, we call it chimta. So here in tongs, we have fulcrum. Then on this other end, we put load like chapati. And in the middle, we make effort to hold that chapati. So pair of tongs is an example of class 3 lever. Similarly, students, forceps or tweezers, they are also examples of class 3 lever, because here also effort is in between fulcrum and the load. Let's see more examples of class 3 lever. Broom. Look here, students. This is the fulcrum in broom. Then on this other end, we have load like garbage. And in the middle, we make the effort. So broom is also an example of class 3 lever. Other examples are stapler, fishing rod. All these are examples of class 3 lever. Now students, can you tell me more examples of class 3 lever in the comment section? So students, we learned 3 types of levers. Let's revise them. Class 1 lever. Here, fulcrum is in between load and the effort. In class 2 lever, load is in between fulcrum and the effort. And in class 3 lever, effort is in between fulcrum and the load. Students, we would like to tell you that we also have a separate video on complete chapter of work, force and energy for class 5. I would recommend you to watch this video as well. You will find its link here on the top and below in the description box. Now let's move to our next topic, inclined plane. Students, any flat surface is called a plane. Like this flat surface is a plane. Now, when this plane surface is slanted, it is called as inclined plane. Like here, if we slant this plane surface, it has become an inclined plane now. And lifting heavy objects is easier if we use inclined plane. So let's learn more about inclined plane. So what is inclined plane? Inclined plane is a simple machine used to move objects to a higher place. Let's understand this with the help of a diagram. Students, this is an inclined plane. Now, if we want to move this object, this blue object, from this point to this point, it will require large amount of effort. But if we use inclined plane to move this object towards top, it will require very less effort. So inclined plane is a simple machine used to move objects to a higher place. Some examples of inclined plane are ramps. Ramps are usually made in hospitals to use wheelchairs. Then slides, road going up the hill. All these are examples of inclined plane. So students, as I told you, it is easy to move load to a higher place using inclined plane. Look at this picture. This person has to move all these drums in the truck. If he lifts them and put them in the truck, it will require large amount of effort. But if he rolls them up using inclined plane as shown in this picture, it will require very less effort. Similarly, when this person has to unload all these drums, then also it is easy to move them using inclined plane. So it is easy to move a heavy load up and down using inclined plane as very less effort is needed. So students, till now we have learned two types of simple machines, lever and inclined plane. Now next type of simple machine is screw. We use screws to join together many things around us. A screw looks like a nail with groove cut in it. It has a winding edge called thread. So this is a screw, students, and this is called as winding edge, which is thread of the screw. Next, a screw is actually an inclined plane wrapped around a cylinder. Students, I'll explain this line in detail with the help of an activity in a short while. Also, it takes less effort to screw than to hammer a nail in the wood. Also, thread holds the wood better than a nail. So now we know why screw is better than a nail. Let's see some examples of screw. Revolving stools, revolving chair, base of bulb have screws. So all these are examples of screw. Now students, let's do an activity to understand why screw is an inclined plane. Take one yellow sheet of paper and draw a triangle on it. Then cut it with the help of a pair of scissors. So this is the triangle, students, we have cut. Now let's color its diagonal edge with a red colored sketch pen as shown here. So now students, we have made an inclined plane. In the next step, take a pencil and start taping this inclined plane around the pencil as shown here. Students, make sure that the paper is tightly wrapped around this pencil. Now observe that the diagonal red stripes are formed around the pencil. Here we have taken a pencil which is a cylinder and we have wrapped an inclined plane around it to form threads. These red stripes represent threads of the screw. Therefore, we can say a screw is actually an inclined plane wrapped around a cylinder. So now students, I am sure you have understood the meaning of this line. Screw is an inclined plane. Now next simple machine is wedge. A wedge works on the principle of inclined plane. A wedge has two inclined planes joined together. Let's understand it with the help of an example. X. X is an example of wedge. X is used for cutting wood. Now let's see how this part of the X actually looks like. This is the part of the X and it has two inclined planes joined together. And this is called as wedge. A wedge helps us to split things by applying force. Like X is used to cut wood by applying force. Students, sharp teeth are also kind of wedge because they help us to cut through fruits and vegetables, hence working like a wedge. Apart from X, other examples of wedge are knife, fork, etc. Students, we also have a separate video on complete chapter of solids, liquids and gases for class 5. You will find the link to this video here on the top and below in the description box. So till now students, we have learned 4 kinds of simple machines: lever, inclined plane, screw and wedge. Now let's understand next type of simple machine, wheel and axle. Wheel and axle is a simple machine with one or more wheels attached to axle. Look here in this diagram. This is a wheel and this rod which is attached to the wheel is called axle. When the axle rotates, the wheel also moves as shown in this diagram, and it requires much less effort to rotate an axle than to rotate a wheel. Let me tell you some examples of wheel and axle. Sewing machine, cycle, doorknob, windmill, potter's wheel, steering wheel, Ferris wheel. All of them have wheel and axle. So all of them uses simple machine, wheel and axle. Now let's understand last type of simple machine, pulley. Pulley is a simple machine made up of a wheel and rope. It is used to lift heavy loads. Students, if we lift a heavy load manually, it requires large amount of effort. But if we use pulley, it takes very less effort to lift the same load. So, less force is needed to lift the load when pulley is used. Now students, look at this picture of pulley. There is a wheel on the top and there is a rope. Now one end of the rope is attached to the load, and from other end of rope we put effort. So this is a pulley. In a pulley, effort is applied in one direction and load moves in another direction. Like here, if we pull this rope in downward direction, then this load will go in upward direction. So in a pulley, effort is applied in one direction and the load moves in another direction. Now let's see some examples of pulley. We use pulley to draw water from well in the villages. Look here. This bucket is the load, and when this girl pulls this rope down, then this bucket will go up and will draw water from well. So this is a pulley. Now this you must have seen, students, curtain strings. When we pull them down, these curtain strings move the curtain up. So they are also a good example of pulley. This flagpole is another example of pulley because when we pull the rope down, it moves the flag up. So all these are examples of pulley. So now students, I am sure you have understood what is simple machine and the types of simple machine along with their day-to-day examples. Students, we would like to tell you that we have made videos on every chapter of Class 4, Class 5 and Class 6 Science. We also have interesting worksheets and quizzes on each chapter. So I would suggest you to check out our channel Learning Notebook. In the end, students, I am giving you a worksheet for your practice. This worksheet contains questions from all the sections of the chapter which I have just taught you. So before attempting this worksheet, I would suggest you to first watch the video carefully. Do watch my other videos and share my channel and my videos with your friends and family. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.